Hello, welcome back to the Oracle Light Tarot. I'm so glad you guys are here and you found this video, that you clicked on my channel, that you're here with me now. Just know that there are no coincidences that you found this video, okay? That you found this reading. This reading is meant for you. I'm just adjusting my camera, got my charms ready. I'm not quite sure what we're going to pull today, but has anybody ever told you how special you are? Okay, I really feel the need to say this, that you are very special, you are very worthy. I don't know if you know that. I feel like you're starting to come to an understanding of how special you are and how divine spirit, the universe, works. It has made you very perfect and whole. You're not missing anything. You have all the tools it takes to create your dreams, to create your reality. We all do. We all have this. You're all very special. Okay? Especially you guys, the ones that clicked on this video. Okay? So just to know that I feel like there's more to that message, and I'm trying to find the words. Spirit is divine and perfect. And you are divine and perfect and made perfectly, okay? So there's been no mess ups here, no matter what you think or feel. All right. And the reality of yours is reflecting back this mirror, right? It's a reflection. It's a mirror reflection of yourself, okay? Of what you think, feel, do, say, believe. Okay? And Spirit wants you to know that it's so divinely perfect. And I don't say this to worry you. I say this to inspire you, because once you completely understand that the universe is divine and perfect, I mean, sit with that for a second. That means it perfectly precise, precision, okay, will reflect back to you your thoughts and your feelings, okay, on said subject or yourself, your belief, right? Your belief about yourself, your belief about the world, okay? And I feel like that's what this reading and energy that's coming through is going to be about. I don't even quite exactly know. I think I'm going to pull the energy oracle cards. Don't mind my sleeve. It's a little wet. I spilled some coffee. But yeah, I think we're going to pull these cards here and get the energy for you. All right. But, just knowing that. Strategy, journal, plan. You're planning something. I feel like it's really with this crown chakra energy here. You're feeling very inspired, right? And it feels like she's holding that journal here. And all I did was just open it up. We got 21. This feels very lucky. Very, very lucky. There's a step, though. I feel like the 2 became the 4, but the 1 stayed 1. There's a step, okay? And we're going to figure that out. But let's get the energy. It's like it's coming off as something missing. There's something missing. That 21 should became 42. Maybe there's something to do with somebody's age. Something about its balance, okay? Because if it was 42, it would be 6, right? Which would be like your victory, okay? It would be maybe recognition, or it could even be public recognition. It feels like what you give being received. Okay, maybe even acts of kindness that you've done. Yeah, it feels like giving and receiving. Okay, so like a balance. So I feel like you've been giving, but you're waiting for the receiving end of it. And I think Spirit wants to point out something that you need to hear, something that will make sense. I feel like that's enough of these. Okay, so yeah, I feel like the 7's coming off as like some kind of public recognition, right? Being recognized. It feels also like the finer things in life, the sweeter things in life. You could have even tried standing out in some special way. I see fruit hanging here. So you have a lot of knowledge. You already have a lot of knowledge that you've been utilizing, okay? But it's like something that this door, right? And here's that one. It has something to do with your talents. It's a new beginning for yourself also. It could also have something to do with downloads. You could be receiving a lot of new information lately. This feels like a new you also. It feels like you've started something new and very creative for yourself. I feel like you're even, the creative part could even be just creativity as in like designing what you want to experience in your life, okay? Also. But we have new beginnings twice here with the door to Spirit. So you're awakening to all that Spirit has to offer. I feel like there's this door. It's a heavy door, you know? So it feels like there's like a needed momentum, okay, to push this door open. And allowing Spirit to flow through and change. Make changes where needed. Okay? I just can't help but feel like he's lost so many feathers here. Like he was in somewhere. He was in there. Flying around, maybe bumping into things. It feels like old energies that rune is standing out to me right now. It's calling my name over here. Let's see. There's something about that too. Calling my name. Like when are they going to call my name? When am I up? Like waiting at a doctor's office. And been waiting for a while, you know? You've had or something about reservations. Maybe there's reservations like as in like I know reservations as in like, you know, calling ahead of time and making reservations, right? But there's something about the word reservations, like reserved. Google the meaning because I felt like there was more about this reservation energy. Like it was describing reservations, you know, like just like is if you were saving yourself a seat, reserving yourself a seat, okay? So there's somewhere you wanted to be, but also reservations like as like reserved, like she's very reserved. Her energy feels very reserved or having reservations. What does that mean? Isn't that, am I saying it correct? Yes. Like having reservations, like agreeing, but with conditions, right? Certain conditions, agreeing that you could be somewhere, but you have, so maybe the conditions feel like beliefs, right? About yourself. And that's funny that I said that, right? When I came on, I said, Did you know that you are worthy? Has anyone ever told you that? Do you really know that? Do you really feel worthy? Okay, there's something about that coming. I'm going to read this rune. I pulled it out, but I never read it. I don't think I've ever pulled this rune in a reading, so very interesting. This looks like an arrow, right? Tiwaz, Tiwaz, the sky god, honor, justice, leadership, authority, analysis, rationality, knowing where one's true strength lies, willingness to sacrifice, victory and success in any competition or in legal matters. It's not reversed, okay, but I did notice that when it was in the jar, it was laying exactly how I have it laying here. So it's not quite pointing straight up. So I'm going to read the reverse. It says, one's energy and creative flow are blocked. Mental paralysis, over-analysis, over-sacrifice, injustice, imbalance, strife, war, conflict, failure, and competition, dwindling, passion, difficulties in communication, and possibly separation. Okay, so it's not quite up. It's not quite reversed. Not even close, you know. It's not even at that middle point. But there was something coming through earlier about that. There's something about the color orange. It's not quite red and it's not quite yellow, but it's a mix of the two. And red usually means stop, right? And yellow means yield. That's a weird way to be. In between red and yellow, orange. Oh, aren't you glad you found this reading? Okay. So a little off. I find it weird we're talking about red and orange though, because I would feel like go time would be green. I notice these are in green. It's the sun, the door to spirit, and the community. So you're working your way. It feels like working your way around something. What is that? Is it the 9? The Pentacles. I feel like it's the 8 of Pentacles energy that I'm getting, but it just feels like this veil of, like I see all these pentacles in front of somebody and they're like smacking it away. Not for me, not for me. Nope, nope, that doesn't resonate. Nope, nope, nope. It's like clearing, 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 clearing. There's been a lot of that energy lately coming up in the last few videos. Especially the ones where it got that symbol with the line and the 2 arrows pointing up. It's reminding me of that. It's a symbol that you see on boxes, like shipping boxes. It's reminding you, you know, that there's things that are fragile inside to stay upright. So it's like giving like the positivity, okay, to stay upright. And then also it's giving me like stay open type energy. Okay, let's pull some charms here. Yeah, and it's not quite. It's not quite upright. What did it say about... Sorry. Maybe you're feeling like a little... Like there's a lot going on. It'd be like a bunch of open windows on a computer. There's a lot going on. Okay, and it was like every time you click off of one, you're like... You realize that you left another one open and you're like, oh, and then you're kind of like, well, what was I doing there? And you're kind of reading over it. And then you're like, oh no, I don't need that anymore. So you click off and then you realize there's another open window. It's just like all these open windows. And that's what I feel like that clearing energy is like, whew, let's clear it and move it on out. Like, it's something like that. So I can move on up, right? Something like that. Rationality, knowing where one's true strengths lie. Willingness to self-sacrifice, victory and success in any competition or in legal matters. Honor, justice. It just feels like what's true and what's right. What's meaningful now. What makes sense now. I feel like because there's nothing... Spirit can't go wrong. Spirit's always perfect in every way, right? It's us that kind of muddy things up. We mess up the energy. We kind of get stuck on certain energies and we piddle fart around in those energies, you know? And then we wonder why things don't move and we kind of get stuck in, it could be like a past energy or a past issue. And we allow ourselves to mess around in there, right? Instead of transmute or just leave it, you know, and realize it's not worth messing around in there. We can even hold on to certain kinds of identities, right? Old versions of ourselves that we just haven't let go of. It could be like surviving some feat, you know, and we labeled ourselves as some type of survivor, you know, and that song, I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna give up, I'm something, I'ma work harder, something like, why would you want to work harder? Okay. I'm seeing an X marks the spot. Why do we make things hard on ourselves, you know? Do we feel like there's some kind of like acknowledgement in our feet? Which, I mean, community. So it could be about belonging, okay? Put it right here. But I'm just noticing the stinger. Oh my gosh, that could really leave a sting. You know, that's so weird because on my foot, when I was driving today, I felt like this sting right underneath my foot, and I thought, oh my god. And it was just as I was driving, and I was actually driving over a speed bump, so that's very symbolic. If you know, you know, guys. Do you know how the world speaks to you? We'll do another reading about that later. Where are we at? 8 minutes? Okay, we're gonna keep this short. We're trying to stay like 15-20 minutes, okay? But there's something about stinging yourself or feeling the sting. I mean, I wasn't being stung. It just was like, if it was weird, some kind of like a nerve, you know? And there's also something about a connection to maybe people, it could be family. We have this tree in the heart, and there's like a lot of love there, but there's a heart in it. Inside this heart, there's many little hearts right here, and this one's like fell off the tree. It's an apple. It wants to become a pie. It wants to become an apple pie, but it can't. It's stuck in this big heart. So it's something about like keeping yourself stuck, okay? Trapped in some way with the key. This key looks very interesting. It almost looks like a heart, and it looks like another heart almost together, combined. Almost feels like breaking shape, form, changing form, transformation. Okay, that's what it feels like. It feels like transformation. I almost feel very aware of talking about the forms that keep us. Oh my God. Look at, oh my gosh. Yesterday, you have to see yesterday's reading. You have to see it. Oh, okay. But you saw they were stuck together, right? Was it yesterday's reading? I don't know. There's a reading where I pulled the charms and they were the anchors, 2 different anchors that were stuck together. So this one was stuck. Like what? Like this? But I'm hearing that song. I want to break free. I want to break free. And look at this key with the heart. It has the wings on it. Beautiful. And you're determined, right? You're determined to create the life you want, is what I feel like. And I had that song in my head earlier today when I woke up. Eye of the tiger, it's the thrill of the fight. Do, 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 do. So, I don't know. There's something about partnerships also coming through with this, okay? And maybe even a little competition. All I have to say about that part, though, do it for yourself, guys. Do it for yourself, okay? It's not about you when you do it otherwise, okay? So really make sure that what you're creating for your life is really what you want to experience, okay? What you want to experience, okay? Okay, so I also feel like I'm just going to pull some of my own cards. We're going to make this reading a little bit short today. I'm going to lift. Is this going to be able to fit here? There, fit it in. Okay, if you see any words sticking out for you, just know that this is meant for you to see. They're meant for you to see those words, okay? Oh, and I can see through the camera. I see vehicle there. So somebody could be getting or manifesting a new vehicle for themselves. Okay. All right. Let's go ahead and stir it up. Just know that whatever comes out in your reading is meant for you. There's so many words in this box. There's no way that whatever comes out of this box is a coincidence. Okay. There's no way. It's meant for you. I'll kind of stop too. You can also pause the video if you need to see any words that stand out to you. I think I'm going to get a better bowl to do this with, like a flatter one. Okay. What is the rest of their message here? What do you want them to know here? What do you want them to know in here today? This message. There's a few that fell out the side. Okay. I think we have enough. There's one over here too. Voice is your vehicle. We have vehicle twice. Well, your voice is your vehicle. Okay, that's going to carry you into this beautiful life that you're creating for yourself. Okay, I feel like you are in the midst of creating that. Don't speak. Okay. Don't speak. The right people. I know just what you're thinking, and I don't need your reasons. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. Don't speak. You know what? Spirit knows exactly who you are through and through, because Spirit is a part of you. It's a part of everybody. It's that one that's that all knowing, right? So you couldn't trick Spirit. Spirit knows you through and through. So there's no reason to play any games with Spirit. And also to know that Spirit doesn't judge you the way that some people think, you know. It's not that, oh, smite me. Oh, mighty smiter. Like, what is that from? Bruce. Why do I have a lisp right now? Bruce Almighty. The movie Bruce Almighty. And there's something about an accent coming through earlier. I don't know if somebody's like British or There's some kind of like English accent, or I'm really terrible with pointing out where accents come from. So, but there is something about an accent, and I'm American, so I just, to me, it's an accent. It sounds like an accent. So something like that coming through, but don't speak the right people. So if you can't say nothing nice, don't say anything at all. Right? Something like that. Okay. We have roles. And something about I want to say Rolls Royce too. I know that's probably not how you spell it, but with the vehicle. We have vacation. If someone's manifesting a vacation. Oh, and also you might want to go and meditate. Okay, so vacation sometimes comes off as like meditation to me also. I just want to make sure everything is in frame for you guys, because I know in one of my videos it wasn't. I feel like we have room. Okay. And I don't need your reasons. Don't tell me 'cause it hurts. Yeah, it'll hurt you, because really Spirit knows your intention, knows your reasons why. So like if you were in competition with somebody, you'll always be in competition with somebody, because Spirit sees your attention to that. Okay, begin. Spirit wants you to begin to stay positive from now on. You can do it. Oh, because you're about to be really, really lucky. Sounds good to me. Sounds good. You know what? Oh, and also be, I was going to say gentle with yourself. Gentle giant. Big, so there's somebody here that has like big personality. Really big personality. But you're gentle at heart. You're a gentle person at heart. Aware. Yes. Stay aware of your energy. Generations. Okay. There's something about regeneration coming through. Black cat. Interesting. Something about that. You have the tools. I feel like, I don't know, there's something standing out about that black cat. Maybe, like how they mention how, some people see the black cats as like good omens, some see them as bad omens, or some see them as protectors. So be aware of how you see certain things, okay? Childish things. How you see childish things. You see things as childish. Never say never. Patterns. Mother-in-law. Okay. Okay. Well, that is sticking out to me with this childish and the mother-in-law. I don't know what it is, but something just doesn't seem balanced. Okay, or fair maybe, I don't know. We have author, but know that you are the author. Okay, right? So it's what you believe, right? It's what you believe. What do you believe? What do you believe about people? What do you believe about yourself? What do you believe about this world? Proving them wrong. Country road, take me home to the place where I belong. More in common than you would think. There could be somebody that you have kind of like ousted, okay? maybe from your energy, because they made you feel some type of way, but it's not them that made you feel this way. It's that you allowed yourself to feel this way. Okay. Something like that for somebody. And Jupiter. Ooh, gifts and luck. Okay. Lots of gifts, lots of luck. Love it. Only God can judge. Maybe you feel like this person is very lucky and that you just, maybe you felt they were braggy, or I feel like this could be like in your family also, okay? And you didn't like that, the way it made you feel, because you didn't feel that way, but you really wanted to feel that way, okay? This could be vice versa. Also, this could be the way somebody... Okay, sorry, I got cut off. So maybe there's been like some kind of cut off with this person. But I was trying to say this could be like vice versa. This could be the way that somebody feels about you. And maybe you felt cut off or ostracized in some type of way. I was about to open this, but it says leap of faith and well. Like Spirit wants you to know all is well. Have faith. All is well. All is working out for you the way it should. And Spirit, I'm seeing like a high heel here, and I was getting the phrase, if the shoe fits. Okay, so the right people. Never say never. Like the shoe fits, right? The shoe fits. You wouldn't have thought, if you knew Cinderella before her fairy godmother showed up, right? I see a fairy here also just sitting here. I don't know if you guys can see this. There's the shoe, and there's the fairy, okay? No one would have ever thought that Cinderella would marry a prince and become a princess, right? And live in the castle, right? So maybe there's people that treated you wrongly, okay? Something like that. Born with it. Yeah, you were born with this. I'm not saying this to say that the other person wasn't born with this as well, okay? But I'm saying you were born with it. You were born with this, okay? This ability to, we all were, right? To create our reality. It's just some feel worthy and some don't, right? That's where the leap of faith. It says, here's the other part. Here's a half piece. We've been getting a lot of half pieces lately. I'm probably going to need to rewrite some of these. Go through and figure out, find the little half pieces and rewrite them. I'll keep the half pieces in too, because they seem to suit, I love the way Spirit works, but because they seem to serve a purpose. Maybe I won't keep the half pieces, but it says see on this. Okay, so Spirit really wants you to see the other half of the situation. So things aren't always like surface level, like that person's, you know, maybe people see you on a surface level and they're like, oh, that person's too positive or too this or that, or, you know, and then they kind of like place this lens, right, with the way they view you or the way they view people or things. Maybe you do this. I feel like we all do this, right? At some point in our life, sometimes we do this unknowingly, and then later we realize, you know, that really wasn't very fair of me to think that way about this person. Wasn't doing me any justice, and it wasn't doing them any justice, you know. When you judge other people, you're judging yourself. So if you feel like some people shouldn't be worthy of something, then you really don't feel you're worthy. You really don't understand the laws of how this universe works. If someone is receiving what they're receiving, it doesn't matter what you think about it. It doesn't matter even the way they went about it, okay? Or how they got it. That's not your problem or mess to deal with. So let's not go, that's a little deep. Let's not go there, okay? But in their reality, in this person's thoughts, in this person's reality, they see themselves worthy. Okay? Like I said, justice. Why did I say justice? It's divine justice. The divine spirit is divine justice. It works perfectly. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay? There are no mistakes. There are no mistakes. We can't look at somebody and say, you don't deserve that, I deserve that, because I've gone through this. I've gone through so many things. I'm so way more deserving than you are. Why do they have that? You know what I mean? It's because the way they see themselves. Okay? It's the way they see themselves. And you need to see yourself as worthy. Regeneration. Did I not say that? When I said the generations, I said there's something about a regeneration. So I feel like we're in this time right now where is a regeneration happening within the generations of right now, okay, that are realizing this, where it's being regenerated in us, that we are worthy, okay, that we do create this reality, that there is magic around us, and that we do have control of our experience. Okay, so I feel like I'm gonna put that at the top, but I said that. Did you? I mean, come on. Curious. Yes, get curious about it. Study it. Look it up. Neptunian. Very Neptunian. The Neptunian is coming off as like very, I'm trying to put my pin back in my phone because I had to Google. I'm not an astrologer, but yeah. So sometimes I Google things, people. It doesn't take away from my magicalness, okay? Don't get me wrong. I am very intuitive. But the Neptunian is coming off as like escapism, like in this, with this curious, like as in maybe wanting to read more into things than there needs to be. And I feel like that's giving me that energy. For the reason I wanted to place it here on that missing piece. So there's something about the simplicity of knowing there's divine justice, knowing that's the way it works. And the fairy coming off as sitting down. It's like there's no airy fairiness to this. It's real. I think there's another, or no. But it is real. There's a foot, a plain foot without the shoe. Charm underneath. Well, it's a piece that looks like a foot to me. Why is that coming off? It doesn't actually look like a foot, but it always reminds me of a foot. Something is a foot. Something like that. Like it's coming off like that. Like when things happen to us, sometimes we want to give other reason why something is happening, and we kind of, it feels Neptunian. And I feel like if I go into that, that's where it gets a little, oh my god. And that's why I'm not going to go into it. What is that movie from? Hold on a second, I have to think. It's from the movie Click. Okay, I'm seeing the scene where the friend of his wife, okay, they're in the kitchen, and Click is the one where he has like the remote to the universe, right? And anyway, he wakes up in the morning. He has his little remote to the universe, right? And he can speed things up and slow things down and do all these cool things with it, right? Because he wanted to make his life easier. So this is what this reading is about. But there is a specific scene. Please go see it. Please look it up on YouTube, something. But it's where her friend, is her friend's name Barb? I don't know what her friend's name. I don't know the names of these people in this movie, but she says, you're just jealous because me and is it Barb? I don't know, his wife. We're going to the gym and all the guys are going to be staring at us and whatever. And she's like, ooh, ooh, right? And then he comes back with this comment, like this backhanded comment about how she sleeps with too many guys and, you know, basically that she's a bad person or something like that. So he says that, and then suddenly she flips out and she's like, and she like starts screaming at this very high-pitched scream. You didn't even know what I blah, 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 blah. And then he presses the remote and pauses it, and she's kind of like screaming in the background, but he doesn't have to listen to it because he has that remote to the universe. Okay. But I feel like if I go into how I was describing that energy of like escapism, and if I explain it to somebody, they might get really, really upset, because I feel like the feeling of this escapism is holding on to things that maybe we hold on to, or experiences. It could even be traumas, things like that, and we have placed labels on ourselves, or we have held on to them. But like holding on to so much of those experiences is like what drags us and slows us down, right? That's where that red and orange energy is coming from, like the yields. Like you're slowing yourself even more down. Like, let's start moving. Right? We don't have to hold on. So there's something about clearing the energy, and there's like, and Spirit wants me to say, like, Spirit is very simple and divine and works perfectly. All you have to do is decide, nothing's going to hold me back. Nothing can hold me back. How does the song go? Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. Open. Yes. So staying open, right? That's what's going to open this door, is remembering this. Okay. Remembering this about yourself, right? It's going to open this door. Okay. And I'm being called because I'm putting it here. Yeah. Don't speak. The right people. Never say never, right? Open door. Open door. That door is going to open, guys. You got 2 keys here. Okay. The key was distorted. There was some kind of distorted, and it was holding on to this extra. It was like this heart, right? It's supposed to be like a heart, like this key. Okay. That was coming off like Red Bull gives you, you know, these wing things here, right? But it's like that heart here, right? That's been trapped. So it could be like a family conditioning. I don't know, but there's like another big heart around that heart, or some kind of community conditioning, or maybe the way you feel about the community, your world, people around you. Okay. But it was kind of morphed into this weird shape, right? And it just wasn't suiting you, wasn't doing you any favors, right? Redhead. Fiery, and then we see the red here. There's something about a redhead. What do they say about redheads? Like, they're very fiery and stubborn, and dollar bills. Dollar bills. I like that. Redhead and dollar bills. Recognize. Maybe you might be seeing yourself as not deserving, or you not fitting in, or not recognizing yourself in some. It's a belief. Their Spirit's saying it's only a belief that you've created yourself. You've created this belief. You can delete this belief. You don't have to believe that anymore. Okay. Efforting. Yeah. Believing that something's hard. Maybe you believe that money comes hard. I've got my eye on you. So yeah, the I've got my eye on you is coming off as like the Watchers. I always call it the Watchers. It's like, but it's not anything creepy. It's not a Watcher, not some weird watchers or anything. But it's like that scene from the land. Why am I saying The Land Before Time? It's not that one. It's the Never-Ending Story. Why is that? There's no coincidences. I don't know why The Land Before Time is coming off. Sarah. Something about Sarah Petrie. I feel like those two are my favorite characters. Why? Why are we talking about The Land Before Time? The Land Before Time. They talked about this land. They had to make this trek to get to find. Oh, and they went through so many trials and they stuck together. They all made it, but they got separated along the way. Right? So Sarah coming off to me as like being that stubborn one. And I think there was something about a family. There was something about what is it? So Sarah has like this stubborn bossy like energy, and I think most of her, I had to go look on Google, most of her conflict has to do with her father, her half sister, and her stepmother and siblings. I don't know, something like that. I think there's a scene, I'm being shown the scene when she's born. She's so cute. Such a cute movie, The Land Before Time, but like, oh my gosh, it's such a sad movie. That movie always made me cry when I was a child. But there's something about that, and I feel like what's coming off is the having to stay strong and move through with confidence and faith, right? Even when you're scared or you lack faith in yourself, right? Wasn't there something about begin? Yeah. Your voice is your vehicle. So there's something about speaking positive things about yourself. Maybe you want to do some kind of like mirror affirmations. You don't see, that's the thing too, and I become very aware of this, like there's something also about like archetypes and spirit guides, stuff like that have been coming through lately. There was a point when I was doing readings and I used to not even say the word spirit, because I had put some kind of like, it didn't really resonate with me to say that. But I don't know why that's coming through, but there is something about archetypes and labeling things. I think it's this Neptunian energy. When we start labeling things as like magical or mystical, I'm seeing the Magician card. But in reality, what we're doing is manifesting, okay? And we're utilizing skills and resources that the universe gives us to create our reality. Because I really, really do believe that that's what we're here for. We are here for community. We are here to experience things, right? We are like the universe experiencing itself, but we have more control than we were led on, right? And I think that's what this regeneration is. So it's like it's being regenerated in you, and you're kind of like moving through all this, you know, all this energy that's kind of clouded you and you know, was very illusionary, right? And then when we would grasp on to things, we allowed things to become mystical and magical because it was like a way for us to be more open, right? Childish things, right? Something about childish things. And that black cat also coming through. And I feel like it just takes away from really getting down to it. Okay, Spirit's saying, I think that's what you're recognizing. You're really just going to get down to it. Okay, you're not the redheaded stepchild. You're worthy. You're worthy. So stop feeling out of place. You are worthy, because the redhead is sticking off as like her right here. You're more than worthy. You're more than worthy. Like, you have the skills. Okay, you could be like a musician. You could be, I think I was definitely getting musician, but there's something about, I don't know, maybe you're just very eccentric in the way you dress. There's no one thing here. You could really get to be whoever you want to, Spirit says. You really get to do whatever you want to, experience whatever you want to. Like, free yourself from that and know that you are worthy and you can do whatever you want. And Spirit really wants you to see that piece. This was the missing piece when we started. I don't know if you go back to the beginning, we were saying it felt like there was something missing. I think it has something to do with the numbers, right? But that's what Spirit wanted you to know. And I'm going to let you go, because I'm sure I've definitely gone over the 20 minutes. I tried, guys. I really tried. But you guys, your energy just felt so good. And I love doing your readings. I was so excited to come down here and do your reading today. I hope that you guys liked this reading. If you did, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe if you're not a subscriber. I would love to have you join the community. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.